Let's see how to enter sections directly in StruBIM Steel. To do this, in the Model tab of the program's general interface, we select the Section option in the Enter group in the top toolbar. In the window that appears, we define the properties of the new section. First of all, we choose the type from the drop-down menu. Rolled, built-up section with rolled steel plates, cold-formed or tubular. Here we will use a rolled section. Then, in the following drop-down menu, we detail whether it is a rolled I section, simple U section, T section, an angle section, plate section, square bar or round bar. In this example, we choose a rolled I section. To select the material, we can use the button on the right and choose it from the drop-down menu in the library, and then click Accept. Optionally, if we click on the button with the material name, we can check and modify its reference, description, and properties. Further on, we choose the section. Again, using the button on the right, we can directly select a section series from the ones available in the library, as well as a specific section from the series. Then we click on Accept. Likewise, if desired, we click on the button with the name of the series and the section to be checked, or modify its geometric properties, such as the dimensions of the section, the thickness or the chord radius. Then, in the Layout drop-down menu, we specify whether it is a simple section, with lateral plates, double in box, double or simple with haunches. Each of these options offers different configuration possibilities. In our case, we choose a simple section. Finally, in Insertion Point, we can specify the rotation, displacement Y and displacement Z of the section along its local axes. On the right, we assign the leveling point, either at the section axis, at the center of one of its faces, or at one of its corners. Now we have to enter the geometry of the section in the work area. Here we can choose between the 3D mode and the 2D mode of snapping. The 3D mode allows us to freely select points in the space to define the geometry of the section, while the 2D mode allows us to select a view to force the entered points to be contained in their work plane, and optionally, to define or import displacements on that plane. In this case, we use the 3D mode. The section is defined by its initial and final ends, so to enter it, we must select 2 points on the model with the left mouse button. Several options are available to help us enter these points. For example, we can snap the lines of a previously defined grid. To snap points of other elements already entered in the model, we make sure that these are snappable in the visibility options on the left, and we use the Object Snap option. Another useful option is to click on Allows for dimensions to be defined upon introducing each element, in order to enter the length value of the section when it is entered. On the other hand, the orthogonality option forces the direction of the section when it is entered. If desired, we can also work using the coordinate entry, and if we have entered a template in the program, we will use the template object snaps available in the top toolbar. We can continue entering sections by left-clicking on other points. To finish and exit the order, we right-click.